Well, hello, America. How you doing? You're looking pretty good. 250 years old, America. What an amazing experiment of freedom and liberty that we are. For all of our problems, all of our warts, we're really a great place. And, you know, we've got a lot of people here who do feel disaffected and upset about various things. I'm very upset about lots of things. That's why I do this little shizzo, me and my buddy Logan, do this little shizzo to vent our frustrations, to talk about all the crazy things, the controversies going on in the world, things that are bothering me, maybe they're bothering you. Always a national debt I've been worried about for 30 years. And all it's really done is it paused briefly the last 2 years of Bill Clinton's administration. He had a Republican Congress, and they kind of, you know, everything was kind of chill for like 2 years there. And they actually had annual balanced budgets. So it's been over a quarter century, and we've just, you know, mess after mess after mess. And then, you know, we got the political class pointing fingers at each other, all the sycophants on both sides, by the way, the donkey side and the elephant side. It's your fault, your fault, your fault. Anyway, round and round it goes. Where it stops, you know, God only knows. But 250, baby, 250 from 1776 to here we are, 2026. I mean, it's an amazing thing. We've done some amazing things. We're young. We're still a very young country. And you think about that, you know, compared to what, like, you know, Great Britain, England, you know, how old they are. Or you look at the Roman Empire, the Persian Empire, or, you know, all that stuff, the Ottoman Empire. I mean, all the different empires, all the different dominant countries throughout the world that have been around. China, how long China has existed. You know, it's fascinating. And here we've done so much, and with this freedom, we've been so innovative, and we've helped change the world, and we've had all these discoveries and innovations and technology, and it's just boom. And you know, these kids today, oh, well, I just wake up and I got a tablet, oh, I got a computer, I got a phone. It's like as if you're entitled to have those things. Yeah, some of your relatives, your older relatives, didn't have these things, and nobody's entitled. Nobody's entitled. And that's, you know, this is one of our things we've got to be careful with. We've got to be careful with all this entitlement. Oh, well, my friend's got it, so I should have it. No, we've got to get back to something here if we want to hold this thing together. Because there's no guarantee we're going to hold it together. And empires do rise, and empires do fall. So we're 250, baby. Happy birthday. You're going to hear me say it. You know, the big thing's coming up here, July 4th. You know, it's basically where we're at right now. We're filming this in early June, so we're about a month away, you know. Trump has got all these crazy ideas. He wants to have this big party. He had a bunch of musical acts were scheduled, and a bunch of them are bailing now on the guy. And then he acts like, well, he'll just turn into a Trump rally. And I don't know what's real, what's not anymore. People, do you? Do you know? I think what's funny of the acts that were allegedly booked, and that didn't, you know, and I've referenced this before, but Morris Day and the Time, they actually have a song. Now, Morris Day, he is a real life person, of course, but he was kind of the alter ego of Prince Roger Nelson, okay, the late, great Prince. And Prince wrote a lot of his songs, okay? And I think he wrote Donald Trump Black Version. And it came out, I think, back in like 1988. You know, I guess about around the time I first heard who Donald Trump even was back then. You know, I just knew who he was through pro wrestling. And then that book came out, Art of the Deal. And he was, you know, he's always been a media whore. You know, he just always, you know, give me attention, I want attention. You know, he's just, that's who the guy's always been. And, you know, he wants to make this big 250 thing. I don't know if he wants to make it all about himself or what's going on. And then this ballroom, and there's going to be some UFC fights in the ballroom. And I don't know. Again, can't you just stick to the basics? Let's end this war in Iran. Let's balance an annual budget. And maybe somebody actually chip away at the national debt. Come on, buddy. Can you work with Congress? We know it's going to be hard. We know it's going to be hard because it's not just Congress. It's not just the president. It's that deep state. I know, oh, we can't hear conspiracy. Yeah, well, there's a deep state. And whether you want to call it deep state or just the bureaucratic state, okay, whatever, all these departments all these things that have just sucked up all of our tax dollars for years. And what do we have to show for it? Not a lot. Got a big military, got a big space program. You got a lot of rich people with lots of real estate all over the place, and they're always trying to get out of paying their taxes. And this is what we got to show for, where are we at right now? We're 30 trillion national debt. Does anybody care anymore? Do you care? We'll just keep printing. We'll keep devaluing our currency. Does anybody care anymore? It is insane to the membrane. And we've got to get back to, sound money. What about the Fort Knox thing, people? Do you remember that? Wasn't it like a year ago that Trump and Doge and Elon Musk, and they're gonna go to Fort Knox. They're gonna audit Fort Knox. Did they ever do that? I don't remember. Did they? Can you tell me, please? Somebody, please, did they ever do that? Oh man. And he said he was going to go into the Department of Defense. And then all of a sudden, President Xi Jinping said some things threatening America. Oh, well, after what he said, no, we can't do that. And I'm like, what? Then later he's kissing Xi Jinping's ass. And do you see that recent trip, a month ago? He's over there. Yeah, you look at body language. Trump didn't seem like the alpha male in that situation, if you're one to believe in those things. I know our buddy Patrick Bet-David, he likes to look at that kind of stuff, but I didn't hear him talk too much about that. Xi Jinping looked like he was the alpha male, just the body language kind of stuff, just the optics. It doesn't really mean that was true, but I hope it wasn't true. What a world we are living in, folks. So Trump, he's doing something with the pond there in front of the Washington Monument. He's making this ballroom. They won this Arc of Triomphe thing. Why are you copying the French? And by the way, I just want to throw this out there, okay? Just for kicks and giggles, especially the Christians out there. There's like an angel character in the image, the drawing that they're going to have, right? So they're going to have an angel character up there? Yeah. What angel is that? That's supposed to be Trump? No. Who is that angel? Which one is it? Huh? Come on. Are you Christians even going to ask that question? Is the media going to even ask that question? Or all just going to be, no, we don't ask that. We don't sound like a weirdo. We don't sound like a weirdo like that guy Jay on that show, Controversial Today with Logan and Jay. We don't sound like a weirdo. Well, we'll see if they actually build this thing. Again, this is insane. Donald Trump seems to be obsessed. There's statues of him at different hotels and things, and it's like, does anybody ever, you talk about the Bible and you talk about being a Zionist and, and Jews and, did you ever read the Ten Commandments? God's was against graven images. I'm just saying that's what the book says, right? So don't statues count as graven images? Or just, you're not supposed to worship them. Give me some legalese, some technicality here. Yeah. There's a lot of graven images out there. But baby, we are something else. Despite all these problems, again, Donald Trump is the president now. I don't think he's going to finish the term. I've explained that to you. I don't know how it's going to go down. I don't know. Are the Dems going to take back midterms, okay, here in the fall of 2026? Is that the scenario? But if they do, and the Dems take back the House and they start to impeach the guy again like they did before, is there enough votes in the Senate to convict? Because if you can't convict in the Senate, and that's how our system works, then it doesn't matter. This is why they couldn't get rid of Bill Clinton before, because the House, so they just censured him or some kind of nonsense back in the late 90s there because of the whole Monica Lewinsky thing and the perjury thing, and I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I gotta think which woman I'm talking about, Miss Lewinsky, and all those good times. Just. And of course, Bill, Billy Blythe, William Jefferson Clinton, some of you like to call him. Of course, he just lowered the bar for a guy like Trump to get in there, who's, thrice married, and he's got an immigrant wife, and what's her whole story? And then, he likes to go party out with, girls named Stormy and all these other crazy things. Folks. Insane to the membrane. It all is indeed. But it is a great country, despite all this insanity. What are we going to do, folks? What are we going to do? Well, let's do the best we can to be the best citizens we can. Let's try to hold this great country together for ourselves, for our children, and for the future of America. And again, we didn't get to, this isn't July 4th yet. We're going to do a very special show there, but just a little pre-thing, and let's celebrate this whole year. Happy 250th, America. God bless.